So let's go for the next one, okay? And that's gonna be the last one in this. I think yes. Oh, actually, sorry. The last. Well, let's do for the next one. Never mind. I'm gonna just group this, and I'm gonna show you another way to do another one, okay? And with another of the brushes from the tutorial. So I'm gonna change the background color, and I think this time, you know something, I might put it black. You will see why. And I'm gonna use like the most recent brushes that I did. They were like the civilian pattern brushes. Honestly, I've been like in Instagram, I've been like very pesada and probably like repeating myself a lot. But I also have included one in the Twitch pattern brushes, okay? So if you want to get them, in case there is anyone now that just joined to the stream, you can download these brushes from my website and also from the Kraftora server. I'm going to now use the texture brush that it is Alcázar, okay? Because we're gonna make a tile brush. I'm gonna make it very big this time. If you want, you can go as small as you want, but I'm gonna say something, the smaller you want, obviously, the more work that you have, okay? So there we go. We have now like the texture of the canvas. With the texture of the canvas, what am I saying? The pattern of the canvas. And now I'm gonna create a layer underneath, okay? And with the selection tool, same as before, color field selected, okay? I'm gonna go to automatic. And also the layer of the pattern brush, I'm gonna type it in reference, okay? Just tap on the layer and you will like get the menu, the menu of the different layers, and tap in reference, okay? And now in just a layer underneath, with the selection tool in automatic, we are gonna start painting the areas automatically that you want to paint for the brush. So for example, I'm gonna just take like maybe this blue, and I'm gonna paint all the different, I'm gonna put more bluish, all the different like tiles around the kind of those circles. Oh, I'm explaining myself so badly today, but you will see what I mean. Like that. And it's just tapping. You don't have to do anything else. Just tap. And tap all the different areas that you want to color the same. And honestly, this, I'm not sure if you are, if you have color mandalas anytime, you know where they were like very trendy to get these coloring books to just color, just entertain yourself. But this, it reminds me so much like that, because it's just so simple, so quickly, and the result, it's just so good. This one below or the pattern brush? The one of the pattern brush, you see? I have one layer with the pattern brush, and then the layer underneath, it is just the one that I'm using with the selection tool. Like that. If you, for example, did like me, that you just like unselect it, doesn't matter, just start again. Oh, I love your stream. Thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, you're so kind. Thank you so much. Okay, let's keep going. And then just keep going to finish all the canvas. That's why I said to you, if you make like a very smooth with the pattern brush, it looks very cool, okay? But it takes ages. So I would recommend you to do something like that, because then I'm gonna show you how to make a seamless patterns, okay? How to make the seamless patterns, like a few ways. What does the reference do exactly? So the reference, what it does, it is I'm gonna select it, okay? And I'm gonna create a new layer. If I have this this like kind of like pattern, okay, and I drag colors, oops, sorry, I'm gonna just take the normal like brush, so otherwise it's gonna take like, I'm gonna unselect the reference here, sorry. If I have this and I drag the colors, okay, it just color all the areas that are inside that trace of the brush, right? The problem it is, if I don't want everything to be colored in the same layer, because imagine that I want, oh, thank you, that you actually use like Kraftora, that's amazing. What I'm saying, it is when you paint a brush or anything and you want to color drop something, it just goes in the areas that they're completely like covered. The problem with that, it is, imagine that now I say, oh, instead of blue, I want to change those areas pink. So it's going to be very frustrating to change it now, because if I try now with another color, sometimes it works, sometimes not that well. For example, now it does because it's very obvious, but sometimes it's just very annoying, especially if you have lots of different colors. The reference, what it does, it is when it is in reference, okay, everything that you paint underneath, okay, imagine I'm in a different layer, if I color drop, it's gonna do exactly the same, but it is in a different layer. If I take the reference out and I paint this again, oh, I'm sorry, I paint in the same layer, and I paint that again, this in a layer underneath, it paints everything. But the reference, it used this, and you are telling it to the next layer that you need to follow the borders of the layers, which is the reference. I'm not sure if I explained myself, but basically the reference layers are you use, it's like painting in that layer without being in that layer. So then, for example, if I have like here, all this blue, if now, for example, I say, I don't want this color, I want to change the color, I just have to alpha lock and literally just go through all this. It's very cool. It's also like, I've seen a lot of people using it for like the same for coloring, like a lot of artists like create like maybe like a sketch or something, and then they give it to the people for free for coloring, and you need to set up in reference the first layer of the sketch, and then you color everything underneath. Exactly. I like means you could do the same elements in the illustration. Exactly. I normally, especially for this, it's what I said before, I change my mind so many times. So everything that is like save me time later, I like, so for example, I like to use every color in a different layer. So then every time that I have to change color or something, it's much, much quicker. And the reference layer for that is amazing. So now, for example, also with a reference layer, you don't have to use the selection tool. You could literally just, like as I said, just like drop the color in every shape. But obviously, if you use the automatic and color fill, it is so much quicker because you just have to tap, you don't have to drag. So that's why I'm doing that. And I'm gonna keep going with another element now, okay? Going with the stars now. I saw this the reference layer also. I don't use it that much because my drawings, they don't have like an outline. But for example, people who draw like normally with like very cartoonish without like a black outline, it is absolutely amazing because you just set up the reference layer with your outline, and then you just can color every element in a different layer, and it's gonna just like color drop very quickly. For example, I might take now, oh, also, okay, just for you to know, when you have like the selection tool in automatic, you can at the end change the color that you like. You see, very quickly as well. So that's very cool as well. Because this one, they didn't change, because at the beginning, I'm not sure if you remember, I wasn't using the automatic tool. But that's fine because I just do this and just in alpha lock and I just can change them, okay? I'm gonna keep like fill it up every different like element. I'm gonna go now with the small stars. And I think I'm gonna go for pink now. it would be helpful if you could add this tip for your How Life for reference. Thanks. Actually, that's a good idea. I definitely can do that. Oh, thank you, Christine, for following. Thank you for joining the stream today. We are doing different covers, notebook covers in Procreate for digital notebooks. We are now doing a tile design, just coloring everything. Okay, I'm gonna go for, I forgot 2 stars. So I'm gonna go for that. It's very typical to do this. Okay, just the next one. And what color? Maybe orange. I'm sure how it's gonna look, but let's go for that. For this, it's like, for example, I just go orange, and if I don't like it, at the end with alpha lock, I just change it, and it's just so quick. And at the beginning, I select black, okay, as my background, because do you see all these little triangles? If I select, I thought that I wanted to leave them black, okay? Maybe I'm gonna change I changed my mind, I think already, but I thought I wanted to leave them black, so I just like paint the background. And then I don't have to go through all these tiny details, so otherwise it would take so long. Ahams, thank you so much for all of this. For the 300 bits. That's so nice. Procreate, you made it so easy, amazing thing. Oh, thank you. It is honestly Procreate. I feel like it's not always like that. It's not that difficult. It is to know actually the tools and what can you do with that, because it has so many different like options and features that to know them all, it just takes time. I also like I'm starting teaching Procreate as well to doing a course to children recently, and honestly they haven't used Procreate. Some of them they haven't used Procreate before, and they're learning so quickly because the thing is like to know all you can do, all the functions. Did you have a color palette available? Actually, that's never something that I haven't done before, but would you be interested for me to do? I'm happy to do color palettes as well. Thank you so much for I could figure out this color drop thing. Oh, thank you. I will do color if anyone else like would like to do like me to do some color palettes and to put them available in my website or something. Please let me know, because I definitely am happy to do it. It doesn't take that long, and I have a few color palettes that it might be helpful. Oh, good. It would be nice for following along with this. That's actually true. You know something? Maybe now in the well, it's actually I'm not gonna have time to do it, but I actually for the next tutorial I definitely will do that. If you want everybody, okay, what you can do, I'm not sure if you are in your phone, but you can try to screenshot my screen now, because if you screenshot my screen, okay, you can just select my color palette right now that I'm using, and then you just save it, okay, in your Marina's color palette really has a nice ring to it. Oh, thank you. So screenshot this, save it in your iPad, and as you know, in the color palette tool, okay, if you go to add, you can create new palettes from a photo. So try that. Although sometimes with a screenshot like that, it doesn't work all the colors, but you can get them more or less. Yeah? If anyone else wants to do it, I have them here for another second. Yeah? And I'm gonna keep going. Okay. Sometimes with this trick for coloring, okay, what's happening as well, it is if you tap like the outline, it gets the outlines of everything. Like look, but it doesn't matter because the white is gonna be always at the top, and it is just okay. Oh, great. Okay, what else do I have left? This one, the top bit. Literally now, I'm improvising with the colors, but I have this color palette that is the normally one that I use. And I normally know that if I use this, they work quite well, so I don't really worry that much about colors when I am creating and then making the main design. Then at the end, I kind of like, normally when I'm drawing my illustrations, I go through just painting any colors with this color palette. And then at the end, I might like change a few things like about, but normally I just go straight forward with like any colors because otherwise I could be there forever. Okay, I'm gonna create the last one layer and I'm gonna go for the center. Oh, actually no, I'm not gonna go for the center yet because I realize that here still I have a few more that I have forgotten. And also in the layer of the pink, I need to add some more of this. Okay, and now I think I am ready for the last one. Same, this, I'm not sure what color am I gonna use now. Maybe red, yellow, I think maybe a light yellow, let me try. I'm gonna color them all first. Oh, I can see that there is one that I have forgotten. And then now here, I can just see how different colors they would like after selecting them all. Actually, I like this like dark green more. I'm gonna just go through this one here that I have forgotten. They're pink. An orange. And that's nearly it, really. Just making sure that I have forgotten anything. And now I might change the background color for those little triangles. And actually, instead of black, I think it might look better like a yellow color or orange, red. I'm just playing around and see which one I like. Maybe actually the green, they look nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this like light green. I love a library palette too. Oh, I'll do that. I'll create some palettes as well and put them in the website. Okay, so that's gonna be the main design for now. And you see it's very, very quickly. Now look, if for example you say my cover, actually I like this pattern, but I would like to make it much bigger. You obviously can start from the beginning and making it like all these details like one by one. But my other idea, okay, that you might that I use sometimes, it is. And that's gonna be similar to the way that I do seamless patterns that I'm gonna show you. That's gonna be the next way, the next cover that we're gonna do. But look, I'm gonna group them, okay? I'm gonna make sure that I don't want to change any colors because then it's gonna be almost impossible. So if you want, that's something that I do as well. I just duplicate it and I just unselect the layer that I duplicate, okay? So I just have one layer with everything and another one. This one, I'm gonna unselect it. I'm gonna actually cover this like cover 1, cover 2, so I don't get confused. I don't name my layers, but I usually name group of layers when I have a lot. Okay, and I'm gonna this cover 3, and this one I'm gonna just flatten. That is the same as cover 3, okay? So I have one cover 3 with all the layers, and I want to change colors, and just the normal one. And look, now just change the size with uniform to the ones that you to the size that you want to have the pattern, okay? So for example, this. Now just duplicate it, and now look, just zoom in. Make sure that you have the snapping. The snapping is very important now. And move it. And because the triangles, okay, they are not opaque, find a way that your layer is looking good, okay? So for example, this, I'm gonna just zoom in. It's very close. I'm gonna just tap a few times. And I think even one more. Oops. And a few times more. Oh, 1 second. And I think that's it. This might seem obvious, but what does snapping do? Snapping, there is 2 types of snapping, okay? And what snapping it does, if it is you move like a layer, can you see that my layer, I cannot move everything that I want. It moves certain distance at the time. So that helps that when you want to move, it doesn't go everywhere. It helps you to move a few at a time, and also it is aligned with the other layers that you have in your canvas. So it helps, very helpful. I'm pretty sure it automatically makes them even to each other. Exactly. This one is not going to make it automatically even to each other, because the thing is that because we have used a pattern brush, it is not real. Even though the pattern brush is seamless, when you painting in your canvas, it is not seamless because the edges, it doesn't match with this one, because you need a specific proportion. So that's why you need now to look with your eye to make them more or less seamless. But that's what I would do with this one, okay? I would just merge layers here and literally just duplicate them again and do the same underneath. For example, you see, if they match them together, they're not really seamless, so you have to go a little bit up, okay? Just zoom in to make sure that it's okay. Then maybe one time. And there we go. Exactly, it'll help with the alignment. Duplicate again, and we have to do it 2 more times. 1 to left, 1 to right, and 1 to bottom. So, again, oops, duplicate it. Oh gosh, I just like lock it accidentally. Duplicate it, and move it again. Just make sure you align it right. And I think it is not a little bit more here. There we go. Duplicate it and do the same at the bottom. It's honestly, it is, for me, this is much quicker than having to go with that much smaller size brush to coloring everything. The last time I tried to do this, I almost threw my iPad out the window, but I still thought I wasn't making 100% sure they were even. I'm gonna say it can be very frustrating, and I'm not sure if any of you used Procreate before this new version, but we didn't have any magnetics. So what I did before, it just with my key, I have a keyboard for the iPad, because when you tap, depending what size you tap up and down, it goes everywhere. And if you go with the keyboard, you can literally just move without going up or down. And I used to do it with that, with my keyboard, just moving forward or left, right. I was done. I have skinny my layer, like each layers. Oh dear. But yeah, that's it. So the same as this. When you get this cover, what you can do, it is so useful. Oh, thank you. Same as always, just take, I'm gonna color pick for the blue because I don't think it is in the color palette, or maybe in the yellow actually, not this yellow, it's this one, and I'm gonna just make the size of my color, my book, my notebook. Oh, thank you, I'm glad you like it, guys. Very happy for you. Okay. So, and that's it. Then if you want to add any different, this little square or any different types for putting your name, that's like all choices. It does actually, the colors. It's like very like summery. It's very summery as well here in Seville. Like we have been like those days like 30 degrees, I think, during the day. During the night, no, like the temperatures go down, but honestly, I feel like summer. Also, how do you share your covers or covers with you? So Modi, the way that we are gonna share them, okay, if you want, you can start like sharing them now. There are 2 ways, okay? It depends if you follow me on Instagram or you follow Kraftora Discord channel, you can go. And in the Kraftora Discord channel, you can post them and share your Grace, if you are here, like probably you're better like for tell them where exactly is the best. But I know that it's like one one folder that it is share your digital art. So I think that's probably would be like a good idea. But I'm sure Grace, if not, she will like mention it here. But I think you can share it there. Exactly. Oh, thank you, Nathan, for following. Thank you very much. The second idea to follow to show me your artwork, okay, it is through Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, just send me a DM and I can share it now with everybody, okay? And if you don't know my Instagram, it is just my name, Marina Parras, but then you have to add underscore art, okay? If you go to my channel as well in Twitch, you can go access through that. It's very easy. I'm gonna check both of them, okay? Another idea for everybody in case you want to add even more, to just like delete the square with your name or anything. What I'm thinking right now, it is you add just like a little bit different, oh, thank you, Hams. A little bit different, oh gosh, I'm repeating myself a lot, like these words. Just like a different shape. That's what I wanted to say, different shape. So I'm gonna just take the rectangle and now look, if you want, something that you could do now, it is the same with this. Instead of like the rectangle, get the ellipse. Gonna make another layer because it's hard to make it like perfect the first time, but you can make an ellipse. And you have something like that you cannot really tell much because of the pattern below. But if you merge layers and you do alpha lock, you can now, for example, with another layer, even with the yellow one to match, just go through the borders and you have another different sticker or idea for adding your names in the cover. Ah, excellent. I'll have a look now and share them all. I've done like the outlines with yellow like very roughly and it looked absolutely terrible. So I'm gonna show you what to do instead if you have done exactly the same as me. Just duplicate it. When you color drop now, can you see that because the reference layer, it is still this, it happened that. So I'm gonna just unselect the reference layer, okay? And I got this and make it just a little bit smaller. Oh, come on, gracious Grace, thank you so much for sharing 200 bits. It's very nice. Thank you. Okay, and now just like try to move it around to create just the outline. There are a lot of ways to do like outlines. Honestly, there are so many. So just use any ways that you want. Now, the one that I got into my mind quicker was this one. But there you go. You have now a beautiful like sticker with a different shape, just with a rectangle and an ellipse. You can add the lines now to write your name as well. Gonna do that. I think that's very cool. Just the edges. And there we go.